cracks in the copy. If the world is a copy, where are the seams? This chapter isn't about despair. It's about what slips through. The moments that startle you into stillness, the ones that bypass irony, trend, algorithm, and expectation, the ones that feel inexplicably real. You've had them. We all have. Maybe in the middle of the woods, maybe while grieving, maybe on psychedelics, maybe when a song hit you so hard it felt like you remembered something you never lived. These aren't glitches, they're signals. The imitation world is built to distract, to loop, to numb. But the real doesn't perform. It doesn't shout. It waits. And when you stop long enough, when the scroll pauses, when the mask slips, something flickers through. Let's talk about what lives in that flicker. Art that moves you, not content, not product, not output optimized for engagement. Real art. The kind that catches you off guard. The kind that doesn't remind you of something. It reminds you of yourself. Art that feels like it knows you. That collapses the distance between creator and witness. It doesn't ask to be liked. It asks to be felt. Art like that can't be scheduled. It's not optimized. It's not viral. It lives in the cracks. It is the crack. Grief. Grief is the most uncopyable thing we have. Real grief doesn't loop. It doesn't perform. It doesn't translate well to social media. It slows time. It strips language. It rearranges reality. Grief breaks the loop. Not because it's an escape, but because it's an entry into presence, into truth, into a sacred kind of disorientation. If you've ever stood at the edge of a grave or sat beside a hospital bed, you know, the imitation world can't follow you there. The feed can't hold that kind of silence. Nature, not the curated kind, not filtered sunsets or national park hashtags. Actual nature, the presence of it, the stillness of it, the aliveness of it. A tree that doesn't care about your brand, a bird that sings whether or not it's recorded, the sky that keeps changing, indifferent to trend. There's a reason people cry in forests. There's a reason silence in the mountains feels holy. Nature doesn't loop. It lives. And when you're close to it, the real gets louder. Silence. The most radical act in a copy world is to stop broadcasting. Silence isn't passive. It's confrontational. It brings you face to face with everything the loop was trying to drown out. Your own thoughts, your own longing, your own sadness, but also your clarity. Silence is where the signal gets strong again. It's where you remember who you were before the performance. It's where the real doesn't just flicker, it speaks. Psychedelics. This is the deep end. Not for everyone, not safe for all minds. But for many, these are not toys or escape routes. They are doorways, dissolvers of filters, disruptors of loops. Psychedelics can show you the scaffolding of the imitation. They can also overwhelm you with the real. In the imitation world, everything is buffered. On psychedelics, there is no buffer. Just direct experience, just presence and terror and awe. It's not always healing, but it's always unrepeatable, and that's the point. What all these moments have in common is this: they can't be scheduled, they can't be monetized, they can't be content. They just arrive, and when they do, Something reactivates in you, a memory, a hunger, a knowing there is more. There is something older than the algorithm, something deeper than the feed, something untouched by the performance. And you remember, not as a thought, but as a felt reality, that you are not made for the loop. You are not made to echo. You are made to feel. So when people say the world feels off, feels fake, feels like it's lost its texture, that's not just cultural fatigue. That's soul recognition. That's the real trying to break through. And it does all the time. It just doesn't advertise itself. You can't trend your way into truth. You can't optimize your way into awe. But you can listen. You can feel. You can go still long enough to notice where the copy ends and the original begins. And here's the miracle. Even inside the imitation, the real keeps finding ways in. A song that ruins you, a poem that arrives in your chest before your mind, a sunset that makes you forget your phone, a conversation that makes you forget yourself. These are not accidents. These are the real knocking on the walls of the copy. This has been an excerpt from Imitation Theory by Sam Elliott. Read the full book and discover more stories that question the nature of reality at mybook.to/imitation theory.